It's Monday night and you're about to go to bed. Suddenly you hear a creaking noise that gets louder, and when you walk downstairs you hear a big pop and water running. If you had the Platinum card in Australia, some of this is covered. They have a home assistant benefit that includes plumbers. They cover the emergency call-out charges up to 2 times per year, which could easily run you $250. Around the world, American Express perks can vary quite a bit. In the UK, you have 3 additional hotel statuses in addition to Hilton and Marriott. In Hong Kong, you might save up to 50% for a lot of restaurants. Also, lots of gamification as well with numbers of people and day of the week. Okay, but what about for US cards? Today we're going to look at 5 secret or lesser known perks and benefits from American Express. Some of these are going to be specific to the Platinum card, but a lot of them are for all the cards, whether it's 0 annual fee or $6.95 annual fee. Big favor before we dive in is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm, and if you know anyone else that might benefit, share this with them. Number 1 is pretty specific but also very broad, and that's going to be NBA jersey assurance. In the US, basketball is the second most watched sport behind football, and it's the number 1 most played sport. This perk gets you a free replacement jersey if a player is traded or switches teams due to free agency. Normally, it's going to be within 90 days of purchase, but if you have an American Express card, it's up to 1 year of purchase. That means that instead of burning a jersey, you can swap it for a different one. For example, if you bought a Dame jersey last year thinking that he would stay in Portland, you can swap it for a Bucks jersey. There are a ton of exclusions, so be careful. It does have to be an active player, and it can't be due to retirement, suspension, injury, or dismissal. Team jersey changes also don't count. Unsurprisingly, it does have to be an official one, so a novelty one like a Tampa Bay Raptors jersey would not count. The NFL shop does have a similar perk, but it's just 90 days. There's no American Express stepping in to increase the benefit. It would be cool if Bank of America did offer an additional perk since they are the official bank of the NFL, but that might be asking for too much. Side note, if the NFL could switch to any other bank, which one should they go to and why? In my head, I can see Capital One pushing for this. If you're someone that's more travel focused, then American Express has a lot going on. Unsurprisingly, this is mostly for the Platinum card. You already know about Centurion Lounges and also Delta Sky Clubs. Knock on wood. What you might not know about is Escape Lounges. These tend to be in mid-sized airports like Cincinnati, Fort Lauderdale, MSP, Palm Beach, Reno, and Sacramento. They effectively act like third-party Centurion Lounges. I've only gone to the one in Oakland, but it's not bad at all. You already know this, but there's a ton of Centurion Lounges. What you might not know is that there's international lounges that are either Centurion or American Express. Hong Kong and London are both Centurion, and they're great. We did a video a while back, and it's one of my favorite lounges out there. Other airports have American Express lounges, so this includes Stockholm, Mumbai, Delhi, Buenos Aires, Sao Paulo, Melbourne, Mexico City, Monterrey, and Sydney. American Express is one of the largest global brands, and I see their footprint within airports growing. There are some other partner lounges, and some of them do have more rules. Plaza Premium is a great example, and they have some pretty great lounges, especially abroad. Lufthansa is an interesting one, so if you are flying the LH group and you have a Platinum card, then you can go into the business class lounge. If you're flying business with an LH or you have a Centurion card, then you can go into either the Senator or the first class lounges. Outside of the big official partnership ones, there are some one-off ones. So if you ever find yourself in Oslo, there is an Oslo lounge and you can go in with the Platinum card. Note that American Express can add and remove options, but this is probably based off what the lounges are asking for and whether it's reasonable. For the most part, American Express wants to keep benefits. If you are going for the Platinum card, make sure to check Card Match to see if you have an elevated offer. If you Google Card Match Ask Sebi, we do have a blog post walking through this. A lot of people are seeing $90K for the Gold card and $150K for the Platinum. $150K Platinum is generally the best starting point for American Express, and just both great offers. If you're getting one of these cards, you might as well grab it at the historic high. Also for the Platinum, make sure that it does make sense for you. We do have a calculator for this. You can pretty much punch in your numbers and adjust it based off your situation. That way you're not overvaluing anything. Something that makes sense for me might not make sense for you, and vice versa. On that note, if you do want to learn about cards, whether these ones or pretty much any other cards out there, and you want to support the channel, we do have links on the website, asksebi.com, and down below in the description box. Please make sure that the cards make sense for you and ideally have elevated offers, but using those links is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you guys in advance. If you like going to arenas, then you can get a ton of benefits. It's only at specific places, but it's a growing list. Depending on the arena, the perks seem to work regardless of whether it's hockey, basketball, or a concert, and also arts and theater. Your mileage may vary, but let's look at a few of them. Crypto.com, which was previously Staples Center, is one of the most famous examples. If you have any American Express card, you can go in using the dedicated card member entrance. All you need to do is present a valid American Express card and also a valid event ticket. You still do need to pay for the event, but it's an elevated experience. You can also get 10% off concessions if that's your jam. The best perk is probably the Centurion Suite. You get 2 free drinks, and they also have food that you can buy. Even though you do have to pay for the food, it's not as crazy as the lineups outside, so probably maybe 5 minutes compared to 25. These are on the suite levels, so it's about a mid-arena view. If you have tickets in the lower bowl, then I don't think I'd go because it's not really worth it. You do get a lot more room, which is nice. The views aren't bad, but they're not floor seats by any means. One trick I like to do if I'm going to a Lakers game is to buy a nosebleed seat, so the cheapest seat available, and then just walk into this suite. If you're early, you should be fine because there's going to be room. Depending on the game, the price difference of the views could easily be $100. We do have a video from a while back if you want to check it out, and yeah, pretty good experience. Up in Seattle, you get similar benefits, so there is a member's entrance, and you also get 10% off concessions. One difference is that there is a 1,300 seat American Express hall, but that's more of a food area rather than a special lounge. As of filming, there's currently 11 options, and since you probably don't want me going through each one, I did make a pretty handy table. Apparently, I really like analyzing data. Diving right in, we can kind of see the ones that are green, which are beneficial, and then the other ones that are pretty standard. One benefit for Crypto.com is that they do have other LA Live partners where you get 10% off. Digital Health Sports Park is interesting because you do need to have a premium ticket, but you can get in with any American Express card. And for both of these, you get 2 free drinks. Hollywood Bowl is interesting because it's the only one that caps you off for $20 for concessions. Moving to the middle, the United Center is another interesting one where they don't have a lounge, but you do get a free appetizer at either Queenie's or Kettle One. I'm guessing the expectation is that you are ordering other stuff, but I wonder if we can get away with just ordering drinks or another app. Kind of a buy one, get one. Barclays Center is another really good one, where with any American Express consumer or business card, you get 2 free drinks at the 4040 Club and the Modelo Bar. The rest down here are pretty straightforward, but feel free to pause if you need to. Main note is that there are options in London. Again, these can change at any time, and I do expect them to keep adding to this. Note that Barclays did used to have a Centurion suite as well, and it worked for concerts as well as games. It did get closed during the shutdowns, but maybe they'll reopen this season. I think Amex is going to lean on this as a growth lever because it just makes a lot of sense. Having people take pictures and then share their experience is more beneficial than another bus ad. One arena that we've seen American Express and Chase fighting in pretty head-to-head is going to be events. I don't personally get value here since I don't go to these, but if you do, then it's great. One of the best examples is the US Open. On the Amex end, you get free bag check and also $10 cash back when you spend $100. And this is for on-site merchants. You can also get digital collectibles from their Web3 team. There's also an Amex lounge where any card members can have complimentary access. There's drinks, snacks, phone charging stations, and also massage therapy. Each card member can bring up to 2 guests. They also have a Centurion lounge. You do need to have a platinum card, and this allows you to make a reservation for a table of up to 2 people. Amex is also pushing pretty heavily on festivals. My guess is that Coachella is their big bet and the one that costs them the most. This is for everyone, so not just for people with platinum cards. The perks are pretty tame in comparison. So faster merch line, American Express experiences, and also complimentary Ferris wheels being the big ones. They also have a pop-up merch shop in the Kimpton, but that probably doesn't cost them much. Since Chase doesn't have a presence here, I'm guessing Amex paid for exclusivity. Instead, Chase partners with Outside Lands and other festivals. I get why people might not like these ones, especially if you don't go, but I don't think it's coming from your annual fees. I think it is marketing. The money's already allocated. It's either more sporting events or going to be festivals. And to be fair, this has worked because millennials and Gen Z have been their fastest growing customer base and combined spending surged by 21%. Even with the Platinum card, millennials and Gen Z make up about 60% of new card member growth. It makes business sense for them to go where the people are. Number 5 is a bit of a catch-all and also a bit of a growing space. The Platinum card offers a ton of car rental statuses, but there is another benefit that you might not know about. The Platinum card offers a 4-hour no-charge grace period when you rent with Hertz. That means that you have a bit more time and they're not going to charge you an extra day. Kind of a random one, but wasn't worth its own section. For airports, I do see Amex pushing this a bit more, but if you fly out of Toronto, Canada, the Platinum card gets you a ton of benefits. This includes priority security lanes, 15% off parking, 15% off car services, and free valet parking. Conventions and trade shows are super interesting. They currently have 2 spaces, and I see this growing pretty fast. The Vegas one looks pretty solid, but maybe a bit sterile. You get high-speed internet, power stations, rentable chargers, beverages, workstations, and also meeting spaces. The New York one looks a lot better, but that might be due to the convention center itself. In terms of benefits, exactly the same, so pretty much a place to get a free drink and maybe take some meetings. In order to get in, it is pretty specific and both lounges are the same. Any corporate American Express card works and also same with business cards. On the consumer end, it's a bit more particular, so Centurion, Platinum, any Delta, any Hilton, Bonvoy Bevy, and then the Bonvoy Brilliant. Pretty much Platinum and then all the travel cards. That pretty much means that if you have just a Blue Cash Everyday or the Gold card or the Green card, you still need some other travel cards. It makes sense because travel is their bread and butter. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, asksabi.com, and down below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a emoji in the comments down below and I'll try to heart it and also respond. Question for you is, which of these benefits do you like? Number 2, what would you want them to add and how would you want them to operate with it? And number 3, are there any that I'm missing that you think are useful? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, share this with a friend, but otherwise, hope you liked it. See you next time.